Hi, this is Tino, Music You Can See. We're at Winter NAMM in Anaheim, California, and look who just stopped by, Jimmy Vivino.
They grabbed me. Yeah, how you doing?
Real good, man.
How's it been?
It's good. It's been a pleasure to actually meet you finally.
Seems like a good year here.
Very, very good year.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and we got sunshine today for the first time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but the rain kept everybody inside yesterday, which was cool.
Absolutely. Working on Conan.
Yes, still working.
And that's awesome.
I mean, folks, I'm an employed musician, so there's hope.
Band leader at that.
Well, yeah, I've been doing that all my life.
A late night show at that, that's a
the best way. The best way to not have to learn anything is to be the leader and to just tell everybody else what to do.
One of my greatest memories recently on TV was when Boy George was there, Robbie Krieger was there, you were there,
and it was Jack's idea. It was Jack Black's idea.
It was Jack Black of Hello, I Love You.
Yeah, Jack Black came and he called and said, "Hey, I got an idea. Let's Boy George is on. I want to do a song with Boy George." So we talked about it. So what do you think you want to do? He says, I really want to do a Doors song with Boy George. I said, well, I know Robbie. I could call Robbie. He could come over too, and Robbie could play. He says, oh man, that's the greatest. So the best part about that was Robbie Krieger showed me how there were two separate guitars and that break, the slide guitar were two slides, Boom, boom. And then Robbie Krieger saying, you be the guy that goes down and I'll be the guy that goes up. And then I started doing it. He goes, no, you got to put a lot of vibrato on your amp. I always wondered what the key to that sound is. It's just straight reverb and amp vibrato on the slides, and it's not open tuned or anything. It's just from the middle of the guitar, and then he let me play the fuzz part.
That was just so.
And I said, oh man, that's so cool, man. And he's. Robbie, he's a par golfer, man.
Absolutely. I just saw him a week ago today.
He's a great guy, and has outlived his legend at this point.
Yeah, actually, they just celebrated last week at the Whiskey. We were there at 50 years of the first Doors album.
Yeah.
1967.
And around that time, Robbie was doing shows with Government Mule, and they were doing
Robbie was playing with Government.
Yeah, he did like a tour with Government Mule where they were just doing Doors stuff, and
wow,
it was great. Warren singing, Robbie. Warren really acquiesced, just let Robbie just do your thing. I'm not going to get in your way, and I'll just kind of be the singer and rhythm guitar,
Wow.
And Danny was just all over Ray's stuff, and Ray is so missed.
Yeah, that was such a couple years.
So missed. But that band was, to me, when they came out, and I was like 11 years old,
Okay.
And that was the most important band. Because they were bad guys. They were like punky, psychedelic guys.
Yeah.
And Morrison's thing was, to me, it's still, anyone that doesn't get it doesn't understand anything about James Dean or Sid Vicious or anyone who grabs kids by the throat and says, dig this, man.
Yeah.
So I like that about the Doors. They were tough, but at the same time, peace and love.
Yeah, definitely something very special that Ali contributed to music. And I think that moment with you, Robbie, and Boy George,
gushing.
But that was that was one of those very cool moments in rock.
Yeah, and it just came together. It wasn't planned. It just happened that everybody was around, and
it was Jack Black's idea.
Jack Black's idea. So I give Jack total credit for that. I couldn't think of anything that wacky.
Yeah, and that's
because we talked about, should we do one of Boy George's songs? And he says, no, it should be the furthest thing from Boy George's music, and George he didn't know until he got there that day.
Oh, he didn't know?
No, he had no idea.
He just got right
into it. Jack talked him into it,
Wow, he just got right into it.
Well, yeah, I mean, really, if you think about it, anyone, our age, the Doors were everybody knows that music.
It's interesting because I've had a chance to be around Robbie, and one of the things I really like, I love his nylon string playing.
Oh yeah,
which I wish he would do a lot more of it.
He was a trained flamenco
Yes,
guitarist,
he
which
was.
is why he still played this way.
You know, he
brought all of those.
Spanish
he brought
caravan.
all kinds of Arabic scales into.
Yeah.
You listen to the end and listen to what he does on Light My Fire, and he's going for Coltrane kind of. You know, he's going for my favorite things. He's going for everyone was.
I never thought
So
of
was
that.
Roger McGuinn going for Coltrane.
Really,
on 8
Roger?
Miles High.
Yeah, okay.
You know, he was like. It's like Coltrane. You know, he's going for favorite things. You
Wow.
know? And everyone was aware that the melting pot of music at that time was so important. All the Indian music coming in and all the free jazz and the people that were aware of everything. So it's so compartmentalized now. Everything's
right.
so, a whole station of Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
A whole station of Pearl Jam. A whole station of Elvis Presley.
Right.
Instead of, you should hear one of those guys one after another.
Right,
If
right.
you really want to get a rich, education.
Absolutely, and this to this day I still can't place the Doors in what even genre they're.
No,
are they a blues
because
band? Are they
they're
a rock
beat,
band?
a
Are they-
beat poetry band.
Right, they were just.
Because see, and those guys grew up in Venice and with coffee houses, and guys playing bongos and upright basses and people reciting poetry was part of the music scene.
Right.
So Morrison was really a poet.
Right, absolutely.
That happened to have this great voice.
Right.
That he didn't even know.
And an range
Great voice.
that was actually quite an interesting range because a lot
And
of
a
guys.
commanding, he grabbed you right out
Absolutely.
of right into the record, and he grabs you, pulls you into the record, and you just, we used to put the end on and just, man, it was like the movie In Cold Blood. It was like Truman Capote. That was like a film in my mind, the wonderful thing is when these guys step out of your record collection and you meet them and they're cool as all hell.
I know. Robbie's one of them.
Yeah, Robbie's one of them.
Yeah.
Leslie West. Guys I grew up listening to, Robin Trower. Guys I grew up listening to and seeing play. Gary Brooker, one of the greatest guys from Procol Harum, And
Who inspired you to pick up the guitar?
I started on trumpet, and then I played. I had a Farfisa organ and a Hohner pianette, which I just got another one. And then at 23, I switched to guitar.
Really? So
because I played I was tired of carrying a B3 around.
Right.
I had an organ trio with my brother who plays saxophone and the drummer, and I wanted to play guitar. So I stopped everything, and I studied jazz guitar, studied guitar, and went on the road with a show band so I could hide and play guitar for a while, and it served me well.
What brought you to California, LA?
Conan.
Conan.
The Conan after
show.
we did 16 years in New York, we came out here. We got.
So you had not been here before? Okay.
Well, I had not lived here. I had not worked out here for months and months at a time on movies and stuff. But hey, I can live anywhere where I'm working and where I can. All of a sudden met a whole new bunch of musicians that I had only heard of living on the East Coast. So there's so many great players out here, and still, I think everybody says Nashville. I still think California is.
Nice.
And New York.
And now you've joined them.
Everybody moved to Nashville from California and New York.
Right, absolutely.
So, not everybody, but a lot of people that I know are still doing that.
Right.
And that's cool, I can't sit down and I don't have a NAMM show trick, Oh, here's my NAMM show guitar trick. All I can do is tell people how to work. You see, I learned how to work, how to play, enough to work,
right?
And to want to work. I never wanted to be an artist. I never wanted to be, Jeff Beck. I knew I couldn't do that. And if I did, he was still around. So what's the point?
Right.
And you get inspired, and you use the music however you can. And I use it, to just work. It's a work. So that's all I've ever done, sessions and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
but also
behind the scenes.
You're in a unique spot because there's very few people that can claim a band leader of a late night show. Paul Schaefer,
and
Doc
they're all
Severinsen,
friends of mine.
Yourself,
and
you're a very elite group. So
and I just got on Jeopardy yesterday. They put me as a question. So
very cool.
So now,
Very cool.
Now it's over. Now something's going to happen. It's I'm a piece of household fabric of TV, even more so, And it was Jimmy Vivino and the Basic Cable Band are work for what one name TV show, one name talk show, and the answer, of course, is what is Conan?
Wow! Wow!
Everybody, I didn't know, and somebody I was here, and somebody, I said, "What is this? Did somebody make this up?" You know, because you can do anything.
Right. It was
no,
it's really happened.
Program, but it was cool because I just wish my mother was alive, because she watched Jeopardy all the time.
Yeah, same with my mom. Do you feel now when did you feel like you arrived? Then? Really? Now you feel you've arrived.
You know why? Because you don't realize how many people still watch Jeopardy. And they all texted me at once. You know?
Right.
I said, "What? My phone's exploding." I said, "Oh, you're on Jeopardy." I said, "Wow." And Joe Bonamassa, who I know since he's 12, we're like,
wow.
I knew his father, and I sort of, brought him up. He blames me for
So
his...
you're responsible for
No,
Joe.
he blames me for his guitar habit,
Wow,
and,
that's a really good thing.
And he was also on a question on Jeopardy.
Well, absolutely.
And he said to me, "Did they get you right?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "They didn't get me right. They didn't. Nobody got me right."
Wow, so you're the one responsible for Joe.
I'm responsible for his guitar habit. His playing is otherworldly. He had his father's record collection was the same as mine. So, Joe plays like the blues rock guys that I grew up listening to.
Right.
And he has a lot more. But his thing is based on what I saw at the Fillmore, and what I saw all over the world in the 60s and 70s. So he's a bit of a throwback.
Wow.
Him and Warren and Derek, they're like my favorite people.
Derek Trucks, Warren,
because they have a really high standard about what they do.
Yeah, amazing guys.
And they seem to have filled a void for me. So,
nice.
For the people that are gone, Mike Bloomfield and Dwayne,
right?
Eric's the only one left. Jeff, those guys.
Right.
Jimmy doesn't play much,
Right, absolutely.
But and Peter Green isn't the same, as he was.
As he was back in the day.
Yeah, and Mick Taylor still is, He's still one of the great. Those are the guys that I guess. And whenever I see John Mayall, I have to remind him that he's like the Miles Davis of England. He brought all these great guitars. They all came through him, like Miles did.
Yeah, as a bluesbreaker, you had to be.
You had to go through that. You had to graduate bluesbreaker school.
We were just in the studio with him and Joel Walsh.
With John or with the
John Mayall.
Yeah.
And one of his new albums.
He's 80.
Yeah, phenomenal artist.
Still great, and he lives out here, and he's just so sweet, man.
Yeah.
And so responsible for so much of what I heard growing up.
Nice.
Jack Bruce came through there. Guys came through there.
Yeah.
Mick V and Mick Fleetwood came through there, and guys like the unsung guys like Huey Flint, and those guys that the drummer that was with him.
And even Walter Trout, Coco Montoya.
Oh yeah, I saw Coco yesterday here.
Wow. Yeah, some of my favorite guitars.
Because when me and James Winworth and Mike Merritt, who play bass and drums on the show, worked. We used to tour with Johnny Johnson, Chuck Berry's piano player, and we playing blues. And we toured with Albert King and Albert Collins and Mayall.
Wow.
We toured Europe with those guys, and so we got to know all those cats, man.
Wow.
And Coco was there then.
Wow.
And Coco's just fabulous, man. Great songwriter, great singer, great. I tell him he's upside down, or the rest of the world is upside down. I'm not sure.
Well, his guitar, I've never seen a guy flip it over like that to play a lip.
He can do either.
He can do either.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's happening, man. Yeah.
Wow.
So out here I got to cement friendships with guys like Hidalgo, Dave and Caesar, Los Lobos cats are out here.
Right.
So man, there's a lot of guys.
Dave Hidalgo, Caesar.
Guys that are out.
Have you discovered Joey Delgado yet?
Oh yeah. I play with Joey. Yeah.
Wow, really? Wow. That's
we
amazing.
the Delgado brothers.
I'm very proud of those guys.
I like Joey. He's got a red 330 or 345 maybe. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and he's just got that BB King thing going for him.
He's great. Yeah, there's a lot of great players out here.
Wow.
And
good thing you
Kid
came
Ramos,
out
man. These guys,
David Ramos.
Yeah, man, these guys
Wow.
And Jimmy Vaughn's got to be a good friend too in the last couple of years, and because we just talk about old records, man.
Wow.
We talk about old records,
Your
and
passion.
we're still chasing them.
Wow.
And he'll send me a thing and say, "Oh, who do you think's playing guitar on this?" And then we'll go do the research and trying to find it out.
That is very cool.
But I mean, that education never ends.
Really? You never reach the point where you're already...
Then there's some kid that comes up and he plays some shit and you go, what? How come I never thought of that? Because youth is invention.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
And always, and if you give a kid a guitar, he will find something that you don't do. I don't care if you're Steve Vai. He'll do something that you don't do. Well, maybe Steve Vai's done everything.
Right.
He certainly played every note on that guitar. You know?
Wow. Well, keep the education going.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
And thank you for the education.
You're going to have to edit this.
Jimmy Vivino, we're at Winter NAMM. Thank you so much, man.
Later, bro.
Oh.